Hey guys, Jon Snedeker here with Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to our channel below and hit the bell icon so you stay up to date with our latest high quality videos. You guys are in for a real treat. I sit down with Diane in California. Diane is a six-figure signing agent and she's consistently making $10,000 months using our blueprint. She's bought a new car and has paid off all of her debt except for student loans. I am so excited to share her story so you can learn some tips and tricks and best practices. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So Diane, one of our last calls, you kind of told me how you were a signing agent, you were on that track, and then you sort of were working on other opportunities, and now you're back on the track like you talked about. So there was that pause there. Are you surprised at how quickly you were able to see success again? I mean, from what you had mentioned that you're doing over $10,000 a month consistently, and yeah, rates are low, but like, are you surprised at how quickly you're back on track here? This is just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, back when I was doing it in 2003, I was only doing it part-time, and way back then, the financial climate was, there was a difference, but home prices had
17 years ago by now.
The values had increased back then, so there was a lot of opportunity. And now,
Sure.
But how fast I've tracked to 10,000. I was really only planning on doing this part-time at first.
Yeah.
Literally plus doing what I was doing, my other thing that I was doing before. And with the volume that I was getting and the feedback I was getting, and I'm having fun every I kid you not, I'm having fun every day, almost every signing. I bring the fun, the glasses and the dress. I bring the fun, okay?
I love the glasses.
Thank you. I bring the fun, and that's, for me, that's the perfect thing, is having fun. Whatever you're doing, have fun, make it fun.
That's it. I mean, that's being independent contractors. I mean, it's up to us, right? No one's looking over our shoulder. No one's telling you what to do. It's like, if you're going to be working for yourself, you better bring it,
right.
Bring in the fun or bring in the energy. Yes. No one's going to give you the energy and fun. It's up to you to say, hey, you know what? If we're going to serve the public, we're going to make some money. We might as well laugh while we're doing it too,
Yeah.
Thank you. So Diane, tell me, how did you find out about closings initially the first time? When I was in the bank, I was actually hiring a notary signing agent myself. How did you even find out that this was a job?
Well, I first started this back in 2003. Back then, it was, people would call, it was signing companies who would call me because I was on, the director. They initially got some contact there. And then I worked with, a couple, one signing company more than a few others. And back then they would send me, they would actually physically send me the documents already printed. It's different now, obviously, but that's how I got started initially back in 2003.
You were a notary first, and then you found out about the signing agent because you were a notary.
Yes, okay, exactly. Gotcha. Yeah. And did you want to go into how I found your specific course?
Yeah, we can do that if you'd like. I mean, because basically everyone gets into this business a little bit differently. So I found out through my day job, you were a notary and learned about the opportunity. If you want to talk about how you found us, that's great. We always love that feedback, and we want to be in the right areas where we can help people. So feel free to share. Okay,
so I literally saw the ad for the Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. I was on Facebook, and I saw an ad come across my feed for NSA Blueprint, and it's like, well, that's slightly different from, what I knew, which was NNA. And it's like, oh, this is how to start a business. I mean, I knew how to be a notary signing agent, but I didn't really know how to make it a successful business, and
because there's a back end to it. It's not just paperwork. There's a whole operation.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot more to it than learning what the documents look like and getting those appointments. There's a whole lot more to it. And your course, what really encouraged me or motivated me, it's like, oh my God, this is showing me how to do my own business as an NSA, which is yay.
Right. I mean, it's literally created for you to do better, and so when people say, hey, you know what, when someone's got something figured out, I like to say, you know, you can climb up the mountain yourself, or you could just
Right.
take a helicopter ride to the top. You just have to pay for the ride. you
Right.
know? And so it's like, if someone's got it figured out, why would you sort of say no if they're trying to help you? You know, if you're getting demonstrated results, of course. And
yes. And you've been doing this for 11 years, John, and you know, you've worked through a lot of things, and you're sharing your experiences through your course, and that really makes it hit home for me. It's like, oh my gosh, he's still an active NSA, for goodness sakes. He's not just selling courses like I have in other industries. They're not just selling the courses. You're actively doing your notary signing still on a daily basis.
There's
so
a
that's
reason I'm
really
still in this business. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many benefits to the business. Can you talk about, I like to say people have to jump at some point. Did you ever have this, like, I have to jump feeling? I was young when I started. I was like, oh man, this is a leap, but I think I can do it. Can you maybe walk me through a moment where you felt like you may have had to jump at all?
Well, I think it was last year when I first saw the ad for your course, and I knew I had just recently renewed my notary commission. Then I saw the course. I said, you know, and I knew I wanted to at least explore that possibility. So it was, for me, it was perfect timing. But making the jump, I was already kind of, like I was saying earlier, I was already on the path of doing certain things, and that, you know, your course appeared at the, you know, it's alignment. It really is divine intervention at its finest.
Like timing on that was a little very interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah,
timing is everything, right?
Yes. It's like, there it goes.
Yeah, right. It's not my fault, right?
right, exactly. But it is.
Right. People watch someone do closings on YouTube, and they kind of just assume they're an expert right away. They've only done one close, or they've only seen like a closing. They're like, I'm an expert. I'm going to jump right into it. Can you maybe talk about, because you've done this business before and you're revisiting, you're on that path again. You are a six-figure signing agent. Can you talk about what separates some of the new people from some of the experienced signing agents as well? You can't just learn this business from YouTube and watching a closing. There's just so much more to it. Can you maybe talk about what separates a newbie from an experienced signing agent?
I would say repetition, consistency, repetition, and exploring new avenues as they approach you. Like, I mean, you have in your course, like, so many different ways to get signings, and how to find new business, and how to market to new companies, and what scripts to use. You have so many different tools that are in there
that work too. They're not like, hey, give this a try.
Yes,
like, no, this works better than this, and here's why.
You've done it. Yeah, right. You've done it. You've been there. You've done that, and you have all the tools available. So it's like, pick one.
And newbies wouldn't know where to go, what to do, what to say, what not to say, right? And so when you have like a proven formula, you simply get better results. That's simple. So is there anything else that sort of separates newbies from experienced signing agents that you think,
at time, doing it again, going back to the materials that help you, going back to the videos, going back to the audios, going through those worksheets or those reminder cues that you have all available in your course, and, watch it again, go through it again, whatever they're there, the calls are there. You have so many different tools. I mean, if somebody is aware, have gotten into your course, pick one. Pick one and do it. If they have any questions, hey, they can always ask those questions.
Right. You talked about how you really are just sort of consistently hitting that 5-figure month. Do you have any advice for people that are just sort of starting out on day one? Do you have any sort of thoughts, like people that literally are like day one signing agent? What kind of guidance could you even would you give them now that you've been through this? Like since 2003 is like 17 years ago, and you've been through a sort of a second cycle here. You have some wisdom. Do you have any thoughts of what you would recommend?
Yeah, even this year when I started back in April 22nd, I took my first signing. And I was a little nervous. Even with the training, I was still a little nervous because I hadn't done it in a while. And,
Right.
the process of how you're getting the documents and me printing the documents myself, that was all different. And, the platforms that people use, that's all different. That's all new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was nervous my first couple of times, my first few signings, but then I was like, oh, this is simple. And, it's you do it. You might take a little more time doing your first few signings, and then you get in the flow. You can do them a little quicker. And you mentioned that in your course as well. It's
So
like
keep evolving, new signing
you keep
agents.
doing. It's like, oh yeah, let me try this, or let me use this tool, or let me try this supply or piece of equipment or whatever. You're trying different things that can work for you, and that's what's encouraged in your course too. It's like you figure out what works really well for you, and go for it, and find your own. It's like, let me try something else, and
bring the fun while you're trying it.
Bring the fun while you're doing it. Exactly. Yeah. So yes, I was nervous my first few signings. I was nervous making that first phone call and say, hey, I'm your notary signing agent, and I'm confirming for such and such date and time. And I was a little nervous doing it the first few times. Yeah. That's all normal, and it's part of the thing. And some people, I'm not nervous anymore, but some people, professionals who've been doing it 30 years, say that they're nervous almost every time. It's like, I'm not, but some people might be, but you do it,
Yep, you do it.
You do it and you get it done.
You do it
right
as often as you want, and it's that flexibility that you can say yes to no to any signing. So if it works, it works. If you're
I love it.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
One of the things that I learned, I sort of had to process this mentally, is I learned that, I was working like 9 hours a day at a day job. And then I learned that I can make more in 30 minutes doing a signing than I could at my day job. And so I had that moment with myself where I could make more than 1 to 2 days of income in like 30 minutes or an hour sort of sitting with you sort of process, and you're obviously doing really well. Like, when did you sort of process that math as far as time versus money? Did you process that at all? So
in my full-time job that I had, it was over 2 years ago that I've had a full-time job. And I was making over 6 figures a year at that job. However, come about, I think, July or August, I was just looking at some of the figures and looking at, result for the previous month or even the previous week. And I'm like, oh my God, I've made more money doing this than I was full-time on my full-time job. And I was making, like I said, I was making over 6 figures then. It's like, oh my God. And this is so easy. It's
oh my God, it's so much easier.
I don't have anybody looking over, like you said, nobody looking over my shoulder, nobody telling me what time I have. I mean, yes, you make your appointments, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ability, like you were mentioning a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
I can take a signing or not take a signing. I can answer the thing or not answer the thing. It's like, it'll be there. It's there. It's possible.
The orders don't stop coming.
when I, that light bulb, like, oh my God, I'm making more money now than I did, and I liked doing what I was doing full time. I really liked it. I loved it, in fact. And with the flexibility and the freedom that I'm getting, being my own, being an entrepreneur and successful, and having people coming to me, and it's not a fight, it's not a struggle. It's
right. It's like, how do you say no to that when it's like it's available?
It's so flipping easy. It's like, how could you say no to that? And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm making more money now. It's like, keep doing it. And now I've shifted. It's like, I'm not even really pursuing that other thing anymore, because like you're saying, I'm making more money here in an hour or 2 hours with one signing than I'm making more money in a week here than it was taking me about 2 weeks to kind of earn the similar money.
Right. I mean, you're just essentially buying time. We all have to do something for a living. Why not do something that benefits the community and benefits you, and
absolutely
value is with that specialty knowledge allows you to go out there and make a good amount in a little bit of time. It's not like physical labor. It's not hard work. It's just, you sign paperwork. It's what we know is what gets us paid, and the credentials that we have is what gets us paid as well. And so, yeah, when I processed it mentally, it was like, huh, you know what? It was sort of like, if I'm going to make this after work for 30 minutes, and then if I just quit my job, then I'm going to have another 8 hours to do more signings. It's like, like, all right, I'm young, but I'm doing this. Like the business is there. I knew how to get the orders, and then it was just like off to the races, you know?
Exactly.
And so we've both been in this business for a while. The highest fee I've ever heard of for a closing was $600 for a closing. Actually, Oscar got that on our team, as well as I did a signing for a lady who used to do $600 closings. What's the highest amount that you've ever heard for a closing?
Me personally, I've gotten, what was it? This person got, this client had 2 loans, and I got $275 for signing 2 loans.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
the most that they've had 2 loans, but calculated that. What was it for one? So,
phenomenal. I mean, it's just
$175, and I've gotten $175 single signings.
Sure.
Multiple times, 175 multiple times. It happens a lot. So
all day long, rates are low, and the money's out there. We market. We have to say 75 to 200, but the most I've ever seen was 600. We get a lot of $400 orders. 275 is phenomenal. Anything over like $100, it's just that gives me a green stamp. It's like, go ahead, run out. It's worth it. It's an easy job.
Right.
One of the other questions I had for you, Diane, was people try to ride along to learn the business with like local signing agents, and there's a lot of compliance factor there and the competition factor there. Can you maybe talk about why it doesn't really work to ride along with a local signing agent to learn?
No, because I think it might be a little more difficult because of the confidentiality issues. You're dealing with people's financial, you've got all their information, you've got their socials, you've got the driver's license, you've got their address and all their personal, private financial information. So having a ride along, that client that you're meeting, it's like, you're bringing somebody else to do what?
It's awkward.
It would be, not that I'm not willing to do it, but you're, it's too much exposure to somebody else's personal financial information. Not a good idea. So I think the way that you do it, Jon, with your course and whatnot, you have so much information. It's like, pick up the phone, accept an order, get the order, pick up the phone, make the phone call, print the paperwork, go to the signing, and you learn as you go. And, when you again, taking it step by step, it's like, okay, this, and this, checklist, whatever works for you.
Right.
And making sure you're doing that. And if you goof, it's not a huge deal. Everybody makes mistakes. Yep. So, don't, you do your best, and you still know that human error still happens, even when you're doing your best and being thorough and all that. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other thing with the ride along is, people don't want to train their competition, and so there's aspect of it too, where if you're a local signing agent, where we teach in the program that you're not really competing with other local signing agents, but they don't think the same way that we do, right? They do see you as competition.
Right.
So a lot of people don't want to train others with the ride along and the compliance factor. So it becomes a little bit sticky. So we do offer how to watch closings, how to get real loan documents in the program. It really does serve a purpose, but there's a reason why the ride along doesn't work. A lot of people are just like, oh, I'm going to go to someone local to train you. Like, who says they even want to train you? You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, I don't mind, because that's what I've done in my professional life. I'm a professional mentor for people learning to do that particular profession. However, and I don't see, like you said, I don't see other signing agents as my competition, because in my particular city, there's so much out there. It's like, if there was 100 other signing agents in my community, there's still not enough signing agents to go around with the orders that are coming in. So I don't see them as competition, but it's not so much that I view it as competition. It's the confidentiality of the the documents that I'm handling. It's like,
it's a tough one for sure.
Yeah.
And as things evolve in the business, new notary signing agents kind of get a little bit nervous because they don't have the experience, or not new, but experienced signing agents sort of see opportunities when things evolve. Because you've been in the business sort of twice, can you maybe just talk about some opportunities that you've liked over the years, just when it comes to being a signing agent? Maybe it's where you get your closings, maybe it's how you get your closings, anything related to the business. Do you think of anything that opportunities that you've liked over the years as things evolve?
Well, yes, definitely. How the signings come my way now with the platforms, and I don't know if you want me to mention a name of one of the ones that
we try not to, but we don't endorse them. But in general, you can say whatever you want on this.
Yeah, there's you know, there's one of the platforms that has a lot of orders.
Yeah.
And the way they send me the way they text out, okay, there's a signing available in your city, zip code this and that. Click to reply. I click on that, and you can say available, not available. Ask
you
for
get like
money,
you accept $150 in like 3 seconds, right, or whatever it is.
There you go. And it says you're confirmed. You're confirmed, and then you go from there. So yeah, one has more activity than some of the others, but even the one that for me is a secondary, even with that, when I shut notifications off from that main one, even the secondary one, because I took off a week last month, even the orders or requests from that secondary one were way more than I could have handled on. So it's like the platforms that are there, they have a lot of
the
tools.
Efficiency with being able to easily accept orders, because let me talk to people that don't know what it used to be. You used to have to talk to them. You used to have to wait. Might
get a call on my flip phone. Way back then, I got the call on my flip phone.
Way back when I still have
get
mine,
the documents.
and I still use it.
I know. You talk
People
about
are like,
that
that's just a show, and I'm like, oh no, I still have it.
You still use it. Yeah, you have it, and you still use it.
And I don't.
Back then, I still, that's what I had. And now, I mean, I use my other cell, my cell phone that's not a flip phone, but it still works. So getting, being able to print, because you can, with that efficiency, I can take a signing that's an hour from now or 2 hours from now because of that efficiency, that electronic, and I'll get the docs emailed or posted on the platform that I then print and then go to the signing. So I don't have to wait till the next day, or, I don't have to receive physical documents anymore.
Yeah, it's easier in the efficiency for not just the signing agent, but also the other people. So there are more signings, because without having to call people and leave voicemails all day, they can just send it out more efficiently. We can accept it more easily, which means there's less redundancy with us, so we can actually spend time accepting only the orders we want and not messing with the ones we don't. You can spend more things, and then they also, the schedulers, don't need to fumble around trying to reach people as much, so they can just work on scheduling more orders. It's just that whole efficiency process.
Right.
It was very, I remember the time before apps existed. As a sign. Think about that.
Back then in 2003, they didn't exist. Yeah, you had the internet, but the apps did not exist. They weren't smartphones. They were analog. Flip phone.
The brick that I have. Yeah.
Right. I remember the bricks too, John.
So one of the other questions I have is, I don't know how many signings you've done, but do you have any awkward moments with signers that you could share? Anything come to mind? I've done a lot of signings, tons of awkward moments, just a lot of fun. You bring the fun, you embrace every day, you get paperwork signed and you leave. But is there anything that sticks out as awkward moments?
Well, one where I had to be really creative about where we physically signed because of what's happening right now. And there were literally, this gentleman was at work, and it was a very highly secured area, and I couldn't physically go all the way to him. So we had to meet outside of his workplace. There was literally no restaurants open at the time.
Yeah.
There was no place to sit. There was no place anywhere near where he worked. I'm like, okay, we're going to sign him. Back then I had my 2-seater. I said, if nothing else, he'll sit beside me in my 2-seater and we'll pass papers on the dashboard. He had a work truck, thank God. So we were able to sign in his work truck that had a console. It's like, oh yeah, flip it onto the dashboard and go through it. So that was kind of different.
Yeah. Keeps it interesting
that
for
was
sure.
kind of different and awkward, but it's like you improvise. And now I got like a portable picnic table. It's like, if we don't have a place to sign, I got a portable picnic table.
Take care of business.
We can sit here and, have a surface and a seat at the same time. There it is.
Yep.
So that was a little bit interesting, but again, going with the flow and working with what you can work with.
With what you got. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The other question I have is, as a 6-figure signing agent, what do you say to people? Because we get a lot of emails that are like, this job's not real. People aren't making money. Yeah, I know you're laughing at them. I laugh at them too, but I still have to respond to them and be like, hey, it is real. But like, what do you say to people that are like, this job isn't real?
You know what? I think there's always going to be naysayers, John. I mean, no matter how successful people are, some people who've taken your course, no matter how, you're always going to have other people who are kind of looking at it from the sidelines and say, oh, this isn't real. Well, you haven't really tried it, have you? Did you really do this? Did you really try it? Did you take the course? Did you implement the things that did you put the work in? Did you do what it recommends you to do? Start with that.
Yeah, start with that and just let the business start to operate, and start getting some calls and give it a shot,
Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely naysayers out there, and there's a lot of people. We get a lot of emails saying, "Oh, this doesn't work in my area. I'm here, I'm there." We literally have done Zoom. I've done Zoom calls all week with David in upstate New York, in the middle of nowhere, and Kate in Indiana, who practically lives in the cornfields, and they're both in the middle of nowhere, and they're seeing a lot of success. One of them is another 6-figure signing agent, believe it or not, in our team. Yeah. And I don't buy the excuse of like, oh, my area is not. No, like the excuse is you. It's the person. It's like,
absolutely.
You don't know where to get the business. You don't know what to say. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to fit in more than 1 or 2 closings a day. I mean, the most I've done is 9. I'm not a superhero, but I've built the efficiencies and I've failed enough. It's about failing enough where I know it works, right? Like the people that succeed are the ones that also fail the most. And so like over the years, I've developed these efficiencies where I don't buy this doesn't work in my area. What do you say to the people that are, you're not buying it either, right?
No, I don't buy it either. And you have that in your course too. Well, if you're not getting enough signings, here's what you do. If you're getting too many signings, here's what you do. It's like, and for people who live in remote areas, and my son lives in a more remote area, and there's not a huge, but he's still figuring it out and it's working.
Is your son doing signings?
Well, he's going to be doing it, and he lives in a very remote area, and his house is actually, he's literally off the grid where he lives. The closest city is probably 30 minutes from him. Okay. But he's still working it out and making it work, making it work for him. It's like I'll arrange my appointments on when I'm already planning on.
Yes. There's a way to sort of patch it together.
There's a way to make it work, and he's not in a state where they do remote signings. I know in Florida you can, where you live, but he's not in a state where they do remote signings, and he's still, it's like, oh, I can do 1 or 2, and that's what he want. Again, that's another beauty of the course. You can do 1 a week, 1 a month, 1 every 2 months.
He could find like a loan office. He could find a loan office in that city and say, I'm going to be your guy like on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever works for his schedule.
Exactly.
And say like, I want you to line them all up on Tuesday. I'm your guy. And that way, like it's worth a trip for him. Right. And loan offices close their own deals.
Exactly. That's what he's,
instead of chasing around in the middle, like there's always a way to finagle it once you really know how it works. He might need,
that might be what's going to work best for him, is to work with the loan officer or the real estate agents in his area and say, hey, I'm your guy on Tuesday, or I'm your girl on Friday, or whatever it's going to be. Book them all have them lined up back to back and, make it work. You can figure out a way to make it work for you.
That's it. So at the end of the day, it's like,
Yeah.
if you're creating your own dreams, creating your own destiny, bringing the fun, meeting new clients, it's sort of hard to say no. The last call with David I had was like, people stay shackled in their W-2s, their W-2 job, where they're forced to work the weekend, and people take this like quote unquote secure job, Diane, and then they learn it's not really secure at all when someone else is making choices for you.
No, absolutely.
So I honestly, it's built for people to think that it's more secure. But what's more secure, like someone else making decisions for you, or you making decisions for yourself and your family?
Yeah.
And it's like, that is way more secure in my mind.
Oh my gosh.
I agree with that.
Oh, absolutely, John. I've attempted entrepreneurs, again, it was part-time, and me being able to call my own shots, again, like I said, do a signing, not do a signing. Take off a week, take off a month. It's still all on me on how much I want to do, when I want to do it, where I want to do it.
You don't need an approval to take time off.
I don't need it.
Be denied.
Yeah, last month when I went to go, I went out of state to buy my new car.
Texas. Yeah.
Yes, I went. I flew from California to Texas to purchase this car, and anyway, I was able to take off a week and drive the car back to California. And part of the trip back was I got to see the Grand Canyon.
That's amazing.
It's like, oh my God.
But you were guilt-free doing that. You weren't like, I feel bad because I'm doing something nice. It's like, no, you're just enjoying it as yourself.
I did. I absolutely did. And, that's available for anybody who wants, taking your course and wants to be a notary signing agent, part-time, full-time, one-time, whatever. It's out there, it's doable, it's there.
I completely forgot. This is how bad of an interviewer I am. I completely forgot that you're making consistently $10,000 a month, but you bought a brand new car, or you bought a new car, brand new or whatever. You bought a new car, and you paid off all your debt except for student loans.
Yes.
Talk about these. Like, I totally remembered that, but now it's like, how did I not ask you about that? How does that make you feel, Diane? Like, oh my goodness.
So let me give you a little bit of backstory before I get to the answer to that question.
Sure.
Literally this time last year, I was getting into a place financially where I was using credit cards a lot more because, my financial situation, I wasn't doing as much. I was doing something part-time, and that started dwindling, and, and I started maxing out some of the credit cards, taking cash advances where I'd never ever taken cash advances in my entire life. I took cash advances, maxed it out, couldn't use the credit cards anymore. And then I was like, in a space financially speaking where things were looking kind of dismal, to be honest. Literally, they were very dismal for me, financially speaking. And, then when I was able to buy the printer, back in April, I bought that high volume printer, the one that you recommend in your course, or, one of the types that you do, the HP 3015.
Yeah, it's a good one. I got mine.
Yeah, it is.
Literally like on my elbow here.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Yep.
And, when I was able to purchase the printer, that's when it really started for me. And you talk about, the freedom. Oh my gosh. So as I started, earning more and more money, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't need to return to a W-2.
No more cash advance,
no more, none of that. So, so like in July, so I was starting to make money. Money was, starting to flow in. At the end of July, I worked out where I paid off all those credit cards, got paid off completely. You want me to talk about the amount that I completely paid off?
Only if you want. I mean, you're free to talk about anything.
$48,000. I kid you not. $48,000. I kid you not. Paid off back in, what was that, August. I'm driving so much. I'm driving my 2-seater Mercedes, which is awesome, by the way. I love that car. I still have it. And I'm like, I'm driving so much. I'm using so much gas. I'm like, I get to get a hybrid. So I started looking and then working things out financially, and then making the decision about
You turned
know,
the
where to buy
corner.
it,
You got back on track, and you went to.
I was back on track financially.
Yeah.
So I came into this, you know, all the debts paid off, and I got the new car and paid about 50% of the price in cash. Didn't have to, because my, you know, the situation worked out where I didn't have to do that, but I chose to do that, financially speaking. And, you know, so now I got a great car, you know, great 2018, you know, Toyota RAV4 hybrid.
That's awesome. Better gas mileage and just
of course,
efficiency. So that's gonna help your bottom line through
time
signings.
efficiency, you know, all of that. So
less
then,
cost for maintenance than a Mercedes, probably.
Yeah, and then no, actually, you know, no, that's, you know, I handle that as I go, but yeah, gas mileage is huge, and the time efficiency of going to the gas station so many times a week, and now of course having a printer in the car helps with efficiency too.
Oh, you got that set up too.
Yeah,
okay.
so I got the inverter.
Some people really learned.
Yeah,
I made a you make a really good living with that as well. It's like once you know the little tips and tricks, that's where you can really start to layer those in.
That's where your course was so helpful too. It's like, I want to be more efficient, but I'm having to go back home to print, and sometimes you get orders on the go and coming back home to print. Even if it's 20 minutes, it's still 20 minutes that you know, to or 30 minutes to get back home to print. Yep. Now I don't need to do that, so I can print on the go, so I'm more efficient.
It also, you know, it saves you the time, but also saves the wear and tear on your car and the stress too. Like the stress of driving with the rush hour. We drive enough where it's like between the time that it saves plus the wear and tear on your car, but also you don't have to worry so much about getting from A to B anymore. You just like this is literally just like pull over in a parking lot, take care of it, and it's like I'm literally just sitting there doing nothing, printing. I'm like, I want to print all the time in the car versus like the office. I want to go get a snack and I want to do other things at home, like sit on the couch. So I was like, no, forget it. It's like, let me just print in the car because it's like I'm working on it. It's so cool. And I have gotten last minute documents, you know, like a couple of days ago I got some last minute documents. I had already printed most, you know, everything, and they said, oh, we've got last minute closing disclosure and settlement statement. Like I was able to print it. Yeah, and you become top of the list when you take care of that stuff versus other people, Diane, that'll be like, nope, I'm not taking those. And I'm not doing them, and then they obviously fall on the list because they're not really being accommodating. So when you're taking care of your customers, no matter how you do it, you're saying yes to them, you rise up the ranks quickly, and you're clearly seeing that. Exactly. Coffee is for closers, and even though you don't drink coffee, you deserve that much. Like tea is for closers. Yep. Is there anything else that you want to go over? Share some wisdom. I would say. Yeah, I would say staying in gratitude, John. You know, absolutely staying in gratitude, being thankful for all the things that come to you, even though, you know, those situations where, you know, earlier, like I was saying earlier this year, things weren't looking that great for me, financially speaking, but yet and still staying in gratitude. I still had a roof over my head. I still had food on the table. I still had my health. I still had family and friends and all of that. Staying in gratitude, and I, you know, I strongly believe that staying in gratitude really helps elevate your energy and keeps it flowing. And when you're in gratitude and, you know, giving out, even though, you know, you might not be able to give financially, but maybe you're able to give some time, whatever. Yeah, you know, gotta give. You gotta give out, and yes, be open to receiving too, and all of that's super important. So staying in gratitude, giving, you know, and I've inspired at least 10 or 12 other people to start this business, to become notary signing agents. You know, my youngest daughter, my roommate, you know, at least 5 or 6 other people that I know. It's like, because you care about them. You care about them. It's like, you want them to be doing better. Even if you want to do this part time, you can do, you know, a signing or 2 in the evening after you get out for work. And it's like, oh my God, like my roommate says, well, he wants to get out of the business that he's been in for the last 15 or 16 years. And he's watching me, seeing what I'm doing. And he said, oh my God, you know, and I shared with him, I'm making more money now, full, you know,
than I was as a full-time, whatever I was doing
Yeah,
before.
and not, I'm not going to say what that is, but it also required a master's degree, right? I remember
It
that. So it's
required a
like
master's degree.
you're making more
Yes.
now in a job
And a
that
certification.
requires like
Yeah.
no
A master's degree and a certification that costs every 5 years money to keep that renewed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so as a
So
signing
yes.
agent, which is less barriers to entry for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
You do really well just because of those efficiencies and the knowledge that you have. That's just fantastic. So, Diane, you're an inspiration. You've turned it around. You're back on track a second time, inspiring others to get it going for themselves. And I just want to say how proud I am of you, because when other people are making excuses, Diane, you sit here and stand and talk about gratitude, which is so big in our program, because you made it happen, and you got a new car, you paid off your debt, you're back on track, and you make 10 grand a month, and you flew to Texas to get that car, and you're just living proof of the American dream.
Yes.
I mean, too many people make excuses. I just want to applaud you and congratulate you that you're an asset to our program, and you're just a great ambassador to being just a phenomenal signing agent all around. But you're grateful, you're thankful, and that means everything. Coffee is for closers, and I bet you drink a lot of coffee with the amount of closings.
I actually don't.
No coffee. Okay.
I actually don't drink coffee. I rarely drink coffee. I'm a tea person, so there's that.
There we go. Right, the tea. Tea for the win.
Yes.
Diane, we have a lot of fun in these calls. In our last conversation, we are both full-time signing agents. We talked about how good it is for loan signings right now. Can you maybe touch base for people that don't really know why it's good for loan signings, and there's a lot more transactions? Can you kind of talk about that with me a little bit?
So for me, my experience has been it's the historically low interest rates. Seeing rates in the 2% range, and even a smidge below that in a couple of cases. People are getting 2 point something interest rates, and it's just fantastic. So if they have a house, they're refinancing. If they haven't bought a house, they're buying. So that's what's, for me, that's what it seems like it is. It's the historically low interest rates that's
definitely
really helping.
And I want to add to that, the rates are, we can't influence that. They are what they are, but then you have the whole economic climate of everything that's going on. And so, basically you have conditions that are out there that sort of people want to refinance, whether it's rate, but also additionally with that, you have less signing agents doing work right now. Not 100% of signing agents are going out, maybe 90%. So you have less signing agents going out with more orders. So it's also a supply and demand piece too, where there's an uptick in transactions. And then with less supply of signing agents out there, the fees rise. And so there's really a nice little combination here as to why things are really good. But definitely, you're definitely spot on with that, with the rates. They're good. And I wanted to touch base because you are a very successful signing agent. In a world where many times people hold themselves back, I'm proud that you simply said yes to your own brighter future. Can you maybe talk about how hard of a choice it was to say yes to yourself, to running your own business and doing loan signing?
Well, I've been doing a lot of professional development, personal development work in the last 3.5, 4 years. And I already had a great mindset. So, you mentioned that in your course quite a bit, Jon, and I appreciate that. So mindset is super important. I already had the goal setting and taking action toward the goals and things like that. So I already had a lot of that foundation there, and working with your course, you really emphasize that, and you mentioned how important it is to have great mindset and great tools and organized space and things like that. So for me, it wasn't that difficult to click yes.
Okay.
Because I already wanted something different for myself. Having the mindset and the gratitude. Yeah. Oh my gosh, just the gratitude is so important.
Yeah, I can't speak enough about that. And all the trainings that I've been through, success is 80% psychology and mental. It's the mindset. It's only 20% skill or mechanics. And so what you actually do with your hands and with your body is just such a small part of the success piece. It's all up here. So it wasn't a hard choice for you because you've already been prepared. You've already sort of mentally gone through like, hey, you know what? I've developed my skills. I feel comfortable. And because of that, you sort of have the confidence, Diane, that some people may lack, right? So you sort of worked at it. No one's born with all these phenomenal
No,
skills are developed, right?
no,
And so,
definitely develop those over time.
I would agree. And no one's born, we're all born perfect, but we also need to develop skills.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you are one of our top performing signing agents again. You're doing really well. We're so happy for you. You've been through the program. Can you talk about maybe for people that are just on the fence, like how have we actually made an impact on you with your career and your future?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. We could literally talk all day about that, but it's so much freedom that doing this business has allowed me to have. And it's the kind of thing that I wanted to develop. So I was trying to do it through other ways. And the way this business works, it's so easy to get the clients. The clients come to me. I'm practically taking a bat to chase them all away because I can't do all the signings that come my way. So I was like, no, I'm not available. I'm a multimedia type of person. So video things, video things really help me. And I'm an auditory learner, so me listening to things really helps, and keeping things simple.
Yeah, I'm big on that. That's for sure.
I love how you keep things simple, John, and you strongly recommend that other people keep things simple. Don't make things too complicated for yourself. It's not complicated. And yeah, keeping it simple, and yeah, really. So all the different tools have helped. Yeah.
That our program is an online video program. It's obviously audio and video, and it's self-paced. So you enjoyed the fact that you could actually watch the step-by-step videos because that's how you enjoy to learn. And in
addition to that, feeling that I'm really supported by you and your team. When I have a question or I want to make a comment or I'm answering somebody else's question or whatever, that support is there. It's not I'm just buying a course and I go to the course and maybe I pass, maybe I don't, and nobody cares. You really care about how people are doing and the results that they're getting. Yep. Okay. And I really just felt that. I literally felt that. And that's the other thing that really encouraged me, and that, this is the right thing. It's like, I really feel that like this gentleman cares, and the people that work in his staff, the moderators, whatever, they really care about it. And on the calls, you can ask questions and all those things. So if somebody's stuck or whatever, they can get on one of those calls and ask a question. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm getting all this support and I'm only paying what? Are you serious?
We do care. That's why we're winners. Like, it's not just hey, come take us and good luck. It's like, no, we're a family. We train our staff. We do so much training to make sure it's a great experience, and we help people get the results. And it's a community. I cannot tell you the number of times, Diane, where I'm like, we treat you like family. Like, I say it a million times because it's so important to have the right culture, the right welcoming environment, and in a positive group. There's a lot of real negative notary groups out there. So we really pride ourselves on like, hey, you know what? Creating culture is not always easy, but it's so worth it. And it's a great vibe in our community where we help people. And so we're glad that you appreciate it. And those calls are recorded too. So you're obviously a very busy signing agent. So even if you don't make it live and can't ask your questions like, to someone personally, you can still listen to the recordings and obviously make a post of a question. We get you taken care of, which is great. So it's clear that you're loving this business, Diane. What are some of your favorite parts about doing loan closings? I know I have mine, but what are your favorite parts?
For me, I like meeting lots of people. I like talking to lots of people. That's what I love about my other career too, is, meeting lots of people and going different places. And being a loan signing agent, I get to do all of that. And it may be a short period of time, but I get to do lots of that. And I love it. And I love going to different places and meeting a lot of people. So it's perfect.
Yeah, it matches your personality. You obviously have this bubbly personality, and I just love that about you.
Thank you.
I enjoy the people. Every day is different. Every day you're meeting new people. You kind of determine how much time you spend with them, right? If you really enjoy someone, you can kind of just slow things down and just sort of soak in that moment. And people hear about loan signings and they know it's good, and they're just thinking about it and talking about it, but not so much action. And so My question to you is like, you're obviously doing really well. What do you say to people who say that they really just can't find the money to get started with us? They've watched our free training, they've seen our results, which we unfortunately we can't talk about in this particular video, but they're there. And so what do you say to people that are really not willing to invest in themselves?
It's going into feeling your own self-worth. You know, is this investment going to potentially help me? And when that answer is yes, and you're confident in yourself and what you want to do, where you want to go, and all of those things, and confident about who you are, I have no issues with investing in myself. And for those people who do have that, work on that. It's like, figure out, you know, what is that that's stopping you? What's stopping you from investing whatever it is to take the course and you know, start doing this. Take it one little, like you encourage, and that self-paced course, take it one step at a time. Okay, let's do this first. Okay, great, I did that.
Yep, and celebrate that success and
celebrate your success as you go. And you think, oh my gosh, it's easier than I thought. And again, you have the support of your team. If somebody has any questions, or you know, they just stuck or whatever it is, take the plunge. I mean, if you feel like it's a plunge, go for it. You know?
Yep. Everyone has that moment where they need to jump. You know, you need to jump at some point. I know I was very young when I jumped. I was a little bit nervous, but I knew like it's not hard when you know how this business actually works, right? You get the orders and you just sort of roll with it. And so we're glad that you're seeing success. If you are looking to get started, you've seen our free training, our results are real. We want to work with you. Go ahead and click through today, and me and Diane will see you there.